Go for it.
Ready? Okay, first off, we'd just like to thank you guys for this opportunity we have to meet with you today and to present this campaign. Naturally, it's a clear choice. It really has been an awesome opportunity for us as a team to really research this market about nasal sprays and really see where Xlear has come in the nasal spray market. And what we found is you guys have already done tons of research. When we researched online, when we have talked to Nate over the phone, gotten information from him, you guys have really developed this awesome product that we love, you love it, and you guys know tons about this market already is what we found as you've looked into it. So what we want to talk about today is bridging the gap from this foundation that you've built already, from the research you've done, how you've already built with your consumer, the idea that you guys are the xylitol experts. You've built this already. We want to bridge that gap that's right there into now becoming this brand name Xlear. This brand that every household, when they think about nasal sprays, when they think about sinuses, they're going to go to the store and look for Xlear. And they're going to find that in the store. How we're going to do that is we're going to run through these 3 major recommendations for your company. And as we go through this presentation, we want you to think about why we're giving you these recommendations. Okay, we're going to explain why we're doing that as we go through. And then also, as we talk about why we're doing this, we're going to go into how we can go through these recommendations.
All right, so to start out, we want to talk about our market development strategy. What we want to do here is we want to split it into 3 phases. So how we're going to do that is this is all the span of a year, and by the end of the year, we want to be in mass market. So how we're going to start that is in phase 1, what we want to do here is, you guys have done a very good job of finding a target market, which is the naturally minded woman. So what we want to do is we want to branch out to a market that relates to that market, which is outdoors. How we want to do that, we want to go to cities that focus more on that, such as Salt Lake City, San Jose, California, Denver, Colorado, Portland, Oregon, those kind of cities, and go to events, go to ski resorts, go to events such as farmers markets, concerts, and have a display there with a representative from the company that can be there to explain the product, explain the brand, and help the consumer learn more about the brand. Next, what we want to do is we want to increase social media. You guys have done a really good job at finding a base for your social media. What we want to do is we want to focus on, in phase 1, we want to focus on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and really build that up within this market, within the outdoor market. Now, next with that is our print ads. As you can see here, we have a beautiful display of just simplicity. I mean, right here you can see that we are focusing to the outdoor market. I mean, it's apparent as soon as you look at this. We have the product there where they can see. And what we want to do with this is we want to get it in magazines that are focused towards that market, the outdoors, the home and garden, the mountain climbing type of magazines, and get it in there. And overall for phase 1, we're looking at $210,000 on that. So going into phase 2, what we want to do, we want to keep everything how it is in phase 1, keep going with that, and then increase it into phase 2. How we're going to do that is we're going to expand to the family. We want to market this to the family. We're going to go to cities that are more family-oriented, such as Boston, Massachusetts, San Jose, and really get a following there. Like I said, we're going to keep everything in as we have it in phase 1. But with this, we want to increase on the social media. We want to get on Pandora, get on iHeartRadio, because those are, and Spotify, those are household names that everyone is listening to. So getting an ad on there, a spot on there will really help to increase this brand awareness and get it out there. And then as you can see this ad, it's a beautiful representation of a child just happy he's healthy. We want people to know that we're focusing on the family and not just the individual in this market. And in phase 2, we're looking at a budget of $440,000. Now going into phase 3, we want, as I said with phase 2, we want to keep everything in phase 1 and phase 2, keep it going, and just increase in phase 3.
Thank you, Sean. So into phase 3, this is going to be the springboard that will launch Xlear into the mass market, the very last phase. So as you can see on this ad, we have 2 runners, and that's representing the independent consumer. So this is anybody that can walk into a retail store and have the Xlear product within their grasp at any moment. Now, moving on with social media is starting to have traction. Their print ads are starting to continue to have more real estate within their magazines. And events and concerts will start moving to bigger cities, Los Angeles, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas. So as you start to be at these events and continue to get that brand awareness out there, you'll start to create a wonderful opportunity to launch in the mass market. But through the interactive display in the store will be the way you stand out among all the other competitors in the nasal spray industry. Now, with the market development strategy, phase 1 is 3 months, phase 2 is 3 months, phase 3 is 6 months. Within 1 year, Xlear has the opportunity to be in the mass market and be at arm's length away from any consumer that wants to buy it. This total market development strategy will cost $3.5 million.
Thank you. Our second major recommendation for your company is to enhance and empower the Xlear brand. I'm going to break that up into 3 different sections. Our first one is to brand Xlear. As we move more towards the mass market, the term xylitol and the health benefits of Xlear become increasingly less important to consumers. Instead of putting our marketing efforts into educating consumers about xylitol, we need to educate consumers about Xlear. Instead of having an intermediate that is xylitol, let's take these benefits and apply it straight to the brand. Our second one is consumer-friendly. Make Xlear a consumer-friendly brand with a personality. Our target market is family-oriented. They're sporty, they're fun, they're outdoors, and they're outgoing. We need to make sure that Xlear has those exact same personality traits. By having that, people will identify with this more as a lifestyle. Lastly, we want to incorporate holistic corporate responsibility. We want to be at community-oriented events. We want to be carbon neutral. We want to be environmentally friendly. During phase 1 and phase 2, if we employ this strategy, it'll stimulate consumer-to-consumer conversation, much like Tom's or Warby Parker. Here's a mock-up of what that exactly looks like. A mock-up of what an Instagram could look like. We have outdoors, we have family-oriented pictures, and they all have a personal touch. So throughout Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we want to incorporate this hashtag, Naturally Xlear. That'll, again, stimulate consumer-to-consumer conversation. Further, Naturally Xlear will be implemented as keywords and search engine optimization on our website. On our website, it's important to educate the consumer. They're fully immersed in the Xlear brand, and we have full control over our conversion funnel. So we would like to incorporate a responsive web design. So no matter what platform people are viewing the website on, be it an iPhone, a tablet, or just the internet itself, the website can reorganize its content and give it to the consumer in the best and clearest way possible.
So, Dave briefly talked about this in phase 3. The specific thing that we're talking about and how you'll stand out within big box stores is our interactive retail display. So within this interactive retail display, we actually went around to Target managers and Walmart managers and asked them about, has there been an interactive display within the pharmacy area where your product is being specifically placed right now? They all said no. So right there is kind of a gold mine for you to be able to cover or to have and in the future. So to kind of explain this, I'll take this as a mock-up. The interactive retail display is a 47-inch TV with a camera that's doing live feed, and as consumers walk past at the end cap of each aisle by the pharmacy, they'll actually see themselves pop up on the screen. Now with this screen, it won't do face recognition, and it'll block out your face with a cloud of like smoke, dirt, things like that, because you're not clear yet. And as this consumer, as you can see, walks into the screen, he looks at the screen, he'll be able to see a button to say, naturally clear yourself. He'll push the button, then all of a sudden his face is recognized, a sunbeam comes out, birds flying, and now he's interactive with this. But what it is though, is then he can email himself, kind of becomes a photo booth. That's why there's this tacky little phone behind it. They can email themselves this picture, put it up on Facebook. It'll be watermarked with Xlear on it. It'll also have the hashtag naturally clear. And once they email themselves, we then can maybe ask them after how their experience was within Target. How was your interaction with that? Now, after they receive this email, on the screen we'll actually pull up the nasal spray and talk more about it within a 30-second clip, which you already have, but like we talked about too, depending on which market we're going after, at that time we'll have that specifically. The reason why we went with this interactive retail display, though, just to reiterate again, is because of the fact that there hasn't been that hasn't been done this way in that store space.
So just to wrap things up, just a quick review of what we've done. These 3 major recommendations, as we've gone through them, we're confident that now you can see why we've given these recommendations. Because we're confident that within a year, as you follow these recommendations, and also kind of follow the how that we gave you, you'll be able to launch Xlear, that brand name, into the mass market. Because reiterating back to where we were, this is all about taking what you've already built, this great foundation as the xylitol experts, but now bridging that gap and turning into this household brand name Xlear. So families think about it, people are going to come and look for you. So in these print ads we've given you, also in the back, there's a comprehensive little rundown of these phases of this marketing plan. So as you go through those and review them, hopefully it reminds you of these recommendations we've given you. It helps you see that naturally we're the clear choice. Thank you. Are there any questions you have for us?
Did you guys look into pricing as well?
Pricing, yeah. We didn't look into it just because when we talked to Nate on the phone, kind of we said at the beginning, he gave us a lot of info. He already researched that, and every optimization tool came back and said you're already spot on. So since he said you're spot on, we just didn't really look into that.
How much is one of those interactive displays cost?
So from our research that we received, that was off of a few different kinds of articles that we've seen. Obviously, it comes down to you bargaining with Target or Walmart when you choose. But what we go, our average was $2.2 million for a 3-month spot for handicap space. For 110 stores nationwide.
But I'm talking the interactive display stuff.
Oh, that. So when we broke that price down, we kind of looked into actually developing the software. So there's companies that can do it real simply, and even Adobe up in Lehigh has the same thing kind of happening with
So they
Canva.
have one of those at Shields up.
Yeah, and you can see it. And so really just to get the software to do that, we figured it would be about $10,000 to get the software built and programmed in. And then to buy the TV, build the display, we figured that it was right around per display. It wasn't anything more than like $2,000.
Because the thing is, you're actually even purchasing the display, you're actually just renting it out. And also with the software itself, it's not that extensive, because really all you're doing is creating an Apple place to be able to have on a TV screen. That's why we came up with $10,000 because of that.
Yeah. That whole plan itself of the interactive displays, we did price it out to be a total in that last phase of it was $2.2 million. That included the buying space to rent out the space for the end caps. That included the software programming. That included the hardware to actually build these displays.
That's a part of the 3.5 that you quoted.
Yeah, and that was all integrated.
But that's part of it is 2.2.
Yeah, that's the biggest one, right?
And that's why we chose to do it actually in phase 3, was because you're now launching yourself. It's the last basically turbo boost that you have before you're going into the mass market. And that's why when we were going into the larger cities like LA, Chicago, and New York, we chose those specifically to be at the end, because that's the most foot traffic in those areas. Obviously 110 stores nationwide, but you can specifically pick which ones you'd like to go to.
And by doing it in phase 3, people have already heard the brand Xlear, they know what it is.
You have a
so
following.
you have a following, so once you put it in the store, people will see that and they'll say, hey, we've heard about that, we've been engaged with them, why not?